Most of us are more connected than ever to their work, their friends, and their family through this little thing that we carry 24/7. And yet we're worse than ever at forming real connections. We choose the people we date off of 5 pictures, a bio with a couple bullet points, and prompts to which everybody just Googles the funniest responses. Now look, I don't want to hate on dating apps. I actually believe that dating apps are a great tool if you understand how to use them, and your profile is part of the top 10% of profiles on the apps that get all of the likes. But in today's video, I want to take a look at how to meet somebody in real life. This video is for people that are looking to have a serious relationship. If you're looking for a casual hookup, your time is going to be better spent using a couple hours of your day to improve your profile and spend your weekends in nightclubs, which, don't get me wrong, can also be very fun. It's just not what this video is going to be about. Let's first take a look at the 2 core components of meeting somebody organically in your day-to-day life. The first element is having a shared lifestyle. If you're a busy person, you're in your 30s, you need somebody that matches your lifestyle. You simply won't have the time to date somebody that does completely different things, where every time you want to spend time with them, one of the two of you has to compromise for the other and do something that that person likes that doesn't really form part of your normal life. Let's say you really don't like outdoors activities and you start dating somebody who's constantly about hiking and being outdoors. That means you will have to take precious time out of your week to spend it with them on an activity that not just doesn't matter to you, but really is not aligned with where you're going in life. The key component is finding somebody whose lifestyle matches. This doesn't matter when you're in your early 20s because you just have plenty of time, but the older you get, the more responsibilities you have in life, the less time you have to waste. The second core component you want to start focusing on is shared values. If you meet somebody that has a shared lifestyle, but their values don't align with yours, you're essentially just going to waste your time. I think as men, we're trained in a way to focus on looks. Mainly work based off of the attraction that we feel, and we usually tend to feel attracted to people that we're physically attracted to. Looks, yeah, they play their role and they're important, but what you actually need to focus on is having a match in values. And I'll use a very simple example. If you have very different ideas on how to grow a family and how to raise children, it's simply not going to be a useful match. Either one is going to have to compromise, and when you compromise on values, you will always end up feeling unfulfilled and unhappy. Now, why am I addressing these 2 points, lifestyle and values? Because if you know what you're looking for in terms of lifestyle and values, all of a sudden you get ideas on where to look for that. And the key to meeting somebody organically in your day-to-day life, especially when you're busy, is finding ways to spend time in your day-to-day life in places where you can meet somebody like that. I like to call this the setup. Setting up your life in a way to leverage the day-to-day activities that you're going about anyways in order to meet somebody that could be a great fit for you. And there's going to be 3 things that you can leverage extremely easily in your day-to-day life. The first one is think about the activities that you do already. I'm going to assume that you're into sports. Think about what type of sports you like and whether that's a match with the type of sports that your ideal partner would like. So let's say you're into yoga, girls, but currently you're going to a weightlifting gym. In that case, it would probably make sense to find a gym that offers both, where the likelihood of meeting somebody that matches your ideal partner, that matches the lifestyle that you want, that matches your values, is simply increased. And I know these gyms might be way more expensive than the gyms you're currently in, but just think about the return on investment. If you go to a gym that's twice as expensive as your current gym, let's say instead of spending $50, you're gonna spend $100, well, that's $50 more a month, which over the course of a year amounts to about $600, and that is $600 that you're investing that you wouldn't otherwise be investing. But you're essentially spending that money on getting additional opportunities to meeting women that you like. That's the return you get. You're just using the time you're already spending in a way more efficient way. Then there's a second element that's been almost like a hack for myself, and that is starting to work from places that you otherwise wouldn't work, but that gives you the opportunity to meet girls that you're into. In my case, I'm going to use the example of girls that are heavily into yoga. Right? That's just a thing I like. It's just aligned with a lot of things that matter to me. It's girls that are very athletic, girls that take care of themselves and typically live a healthy lifestyle. Rather than just working alone in my office in front of my screen, like I do so often, right? Rather than just doing that, I'm going to set apart an hour a day where I'm going to work from a coffee shop. And I will pick a coffee shop where these girls tend to hang out, near a yoga place or in the university area of the city. Just a place where the likelihood of meeting somebody is much higher than in my office where I'm by myself. Now, the last thing that you'll actually have to change, and that is easier said than done, is that you will actually have to muster up the courage to walk up to the girls that you see and like. So the first step is exposing yourself to an environment where there's more opportunity. But the second step is always going to be taking action and actually walking up and saying hi. This is the part where most of us fail, because it's easy in our minds, it's easy to plan, it's easy to tell ourselves we're going to do it, but when we're there, we fail. You have to be aware that you're going to have to make that approach. And there's actually a way that I like to think about it that makes it a lot easier. I'm going to go into a lot more depth on this in future videos, but for now, let me just share one shift in mindset that I want you to take. I don't want you to think of it as approaching that girl to get something out of that, to get something from her. If you keep going to these same spots again and again, then you can really let it build organically. You can start the interaction with something very casual, something along the lines of, oh, hi, I've never seen you here. Do you come here often, or do you typically come at other times? Just strike up a conversation, make it casual, don't expect anything, don't force exchanging information like Instagram or phone numbers, just do the approach and see where it goes and give it time. If you both hang out at the same places regularly, that relationship can grow. You can get to know each other and you can nurture that relationship and eventually build on top of the relationship. And I know this goes contrary to a lot of the advice that you see out there. When you look at common dating advice, it's always about making things happen as quickly as possible. And sometimes I also mention this, but when you go about building organic relationships in your real life and you're looking for something serious and long-term, it's completely fine to take it slow, to slowly move things forward and to just see where it leads. That's it for today's video. If you've liked the video, hit the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments if you've got any questions, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in my next video.